While Biden's every utterance is now watched for a potential mishap, Trump's rambling, incoherent, lie-filled rallies go largely ignored. The New Yorker's Susan Glasser recently watched one Trump rally from start to finish. Quote, "It is easiest to understand the threat that Trump poses to American democracy most clearly when you see it for yourself. Small clips of his craziness can be too easily dismissed as the background noise of our times. Watch his speeches. Share them widely. Don't look away." Joining us now is Susan Glasser, staff writer for The New Yorker. Susan, thank you for being with us. This is such an important discussion because it's really the ongoing media criticism of our time. Too little Trump, too much Trump. Don't do what you did in 2016. This is the big question. And increasingly, I'm hearing from people like you, not only listen to Trump, not only watch him, maybe even go to a rally to finally understand what it is that's happening in this country.
Well, look, apologies in advance, by the way. I'm not saying that this is necessarily like good for your soul or uplifting or in any way. It is an exhausting experience to just put yourself in this frame. The rally the other night in Georgia was 1 hour and 55 minutes of Donald Trump extemporaneizing, lying, rambling, ranting. Much of it doesn't make much sense. As you know, for years, he struggled with the basics of a noun, a verb, and a period. You're not going to find a lot of those there. But, you know, even beyond the delivery, and certainly when it comes to age, you will come away from a performance like this thinking this is a guy who is age impaired, who really struggles with his words, who is visibly diminished in his vocabulary and his delivery just in the last few years. But beyond that, it's the substance of what Trump was saying this time that really caught my attention as someone who's been paying close attention both in 2016 and in 2020. There's something, you know, different this time. And it's not just the level of grievance and revenge and retribution. It's actually the dystopian hellscape that he portrays America as. It's much worse and darker than even the American Carnage speech, frankly, Ali.
Yeah, and I was going to say, we're used to that right from the beginning of Trump, from his inauguration, from pulling out of the climate accords. He has decided that that's the way to go. Now, it continues to work for a lot of the voters, a lot of the people who go to these rallies. It's increasingly not working for some big names. So we just heard from Mike Pence, John Kelly not supporting him, Bill Barr, John Bolton, Mark Esper, James Mattis, Rex Tillerson, Nikki Haley, H.R. McMaster. So tell me about this. Increasingly, there are big names who are saying, I don't want to be associated with this guy, even if he wins again. And yet it's not affecting him at the base.
Well, that's right. I mean, this is a party in some ways that is the captive of its base. And you see that for the rationale of some of the senior Republicans like Mitch McConnell, who have essentially thrown away their principles and gone ahead and endorsed Donald Trump, basically saying, well, what can I do? The voters support him. I've heard that from senators, Republican senators who in public are pro-Trump, who have acknowledged to me and to other journalists privately, look, you know, what am I supposed to do? This guy runs 10, 20 points ahead of me in my own state with my own voters. So I think you see a Republican Party that's almost hostage to a subset of its own electorate. That's number one. Number two, it shows you that there is no such thing as a kind of elder statesman in this day and age. Basically, the party doesn't care what those authority figures think.
One of the things you write about here is the lies. And most people, if you stop them on the street and said, what lies do you talk about? They'll talk about the election denial largely, but there were other things. You write something interesting. You said Trump's 2024 campaign platform is being built on an edifice of lies, not just the old familiar lies about a rigged election. They're now joined by an equally flamboyant new set of untruths about Biden's presidency. Tell me more about that.
You know, I was really struck by this one. Even compared with 2016, Biden never said the stuff about Obama when he was first running, or even Hillary Clinton that he now says about Joe Biden. He basically says that Joe Biden is both a drooling, incompetent, old man, But he's also a criminal mastermind who's weaponized the government against him. And also, he's created a country where Joe Biden is single-handedly ordering gangs of roving murderers and thugs, into our country to kill innocent people. He lays this all very directly at the foot of the incumbent president in a way that would have been the biggest news in any other campaign of our lifetime. This is like Willie Horton on steroids, the way that Donald Trump is talking to his adoring, cheering crowds of fans. He literally accuses the president of basically unleashing gangs of murderers in the country. And people just bat an eye. They don't even pay attention to Donald Trump when he says these things.